Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Before we start the session, today I would like to start the session with a quote. What is today's quote? Hard work will never betray you. Hard work will never let you down. Always depend on hard work. That will fetch you the success you deserve. A very useful quote at this juncture for those who are preparing for competitive exams. Now, before we go to the editorial, as usual, we'll have a look at the enrichment. What is the enrichment on March 23rd, 2020? From the newspaper, from the editorial. One is vocabulary related. You're going to learn 10 to 15 words. One, impending, salvage, append, tussle, truncated, antithesis, dubious, woo, alluring, usurping. All these words are very important, and besides these words, you're going to learn 5 idioms and 5 phrasal verbs. Let us see what they are. The phrasal verbs are fall out with, get along, look after, look up to, take after. All these phrasal verbs go with the concept or the theme, family. And there are 5 idioms. Let us have a look at the 5 idioms. Out of the blue, green with envy, gray area, caught red-handed, green thumb. And all these go with the color. The theme here is color. Now let us go to the editorial. This editorial, what does it talk about? How does it start? Last week we got one editorial with the heading, competitive related to unethical practices. And based on that, the continuation of that, there is one more editorial, what is happening in the state of Madhya Pradesh, or what has happened in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And if you remember that editorial, competitive impropriety, do you remember that? So that goes with Madhya Pradesh state. And today also the editorial talks about the Madhya Pradesh state and what exactly happened over there. How does it start? Stealing a mandate. It starts with a negative word. What is the first word here? Stealing. Stealing has a negative connotation. Stealing what? A mandate. Mandatory means compulsory. But here the word is mandate. Mandate means what? The authority to carry out a policy or course of action regarded as given by the electorate. The decision or the judgment or the verdict given by the electorate for a particular party to rule that particular state, that is known as a mandate. Stealing a mandate, the electorate has given the mandate in favor of the Congress, but that mandate has been stolen by the BJP party. That's how the editorial starts, stealing a mandate. Obviously, it is not something acceptable. It is not something that can be justified. The second sentence talks about BJP played by the book. What exactly BJP did to get back the power? BJP played by the book. There's one important expression here, play by the book. By the book in this context means, play by the book means play according to or do according to rules and regulations. BJP played by the book, but a new government will lack moral legitimacy without winning by polls. Today, the situation is BJP has come to power. So the question, how did it come to power? By playing by the book. That means what? By following the rules and regulations, apparently. But the editorial says a new government will lack moral legitimacy. The new government will not have the moral legitimacy because it hasn't won the by polls. There are about 24 seats vacant, and BJP should have waited. That's what the editorial talks about. Now the editorial provides the background information. What exactly happened? Last week you got one editorial, and this topic is rather a familiar topic. The impending change of guard in Madhya Pradesh is on the back of a disgraceful betrayal of the popular mandate of 2018 when the Congress defeated the BJP that was in power for 3 consecutive terms. This talks about, again, the mandate, and it talks about the betrayal of the popular mandate. The impending change, that's an important word. What is the meaning of impending? About to happen. Also, forthcoming. Something that is inevitable. What is inevitable here? Change of guard in Madhya Pradesh state It is on the back of a disgraceful betrayal. There's another important word here, betray. From that you get the word betrayal. Means what? Disloyalty. Everyday English we say backstabbing. Of the popular mandate of 2018, when the Congress defeated the BJP that was in power for 3 consecutive terms. And that defeat was rather, the Congress party got a narrow margin that resulted in all this, the present situation. How did it start? The editorial provides the background information. Jyotiraditya Scindia's vault from the Congress to its antithesis. There are 2 important words here. One is vault. Vault means jump, one meaning. And if you take sports, there we have a particular sport called pole vault. So using a pole and jumping. But in this context, it means jumping from one party to another party. Jyotiraditya Scindia's vault from the Congress to its antithesis. That's an important word. What is the meaning of the word antithesis? A person or thing that is the direct opposite of someone or something else. Anti. A-N-T-I, anti means against. A-N-T-E, anti means before. So you got to be careful when you come across words like antithesis or antipathy and also antenatal. You have to look at the spelling and decide what exactly the sentence talks about. So antithesis, the Congress, antithesis for the Congress party, obviously the BJP. Set the ball rolling. There's an important expression here. Set the ball rolling. Make something happen. Initiate a process. Set the ball rolling for the unraveling of Chief Minister Kamal Nath's government earlier in March. Unraveling is an important word. One meaning undo. Another meaning make plain or clear. Unraveling of Chief Minister Kamal Nath's government earlier in March. So how did it start? One is the jump of Jyotiraditya Scindia's jump from the Congress party to its antithesis of BJP, one thing. And the second thing, the editorial talks about the resignation of 22 MLAs. With the resignation of 22 of its MLAs from the assembly, the Congress was reduced to a minority with 92 members. The resignations brought down the halfway mark to 104, and now the BJP with 106 can claim a majority as it is doing right now. Because of this, BJP has got the upper hand. Now it can claim a majority as it is doing right now. The BJP legislature party is expected to elect former Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan as its leader, who is likely to form the new government this week. It talks about the BJP party. It is going to elect Chauhan, Shivraj Chauhan, the former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh state, as the party leader. Then it talks about the stand taken by Mr. Nath, and the editorial appreciates the stand taken by Mr. Kamal Nath. Let us see how the sentences go. Mr. Nath tried to salvage his government. That's an important word. Salvage, the act of rescuing. But the word salvage goes with ships. Salvaging a ship, rescuing a ship or the crew of the ship. So in this context, it means salvaging means the act of rescuing his government. Mr. Nath tried to salvage his government by buying time. That's an important expression. Buy time. I'm trying to buy time means what? I'm trying to take some time, get some time. By buying time to woo back the defectors. There's another important word here, woo, means what? Seek the favor or support. Woo back the defectors, but the Supreme Court ordered that a floor test be held on Friday. He wanted some time, but the Supreme Court ordered that a floor test be held on Friday, that is immediately. His decision to submit the resignation before forcing a vote in the Assembly was appropriate. Here the editorial says the stand taken by Mr. Kamal Nath is quite appropriate and rather appreciable. His decision to submit the resignation before forcing a vote in the Assembly was appropriate, was apt. Luring back the defectors by dubious means would have been no less dishonorable than their defections. The editorial says defections are obviously not something one can justify. So in this context, had he lured the defectors, Mr. Kamal Nath, had he lured back the defectors, that would have been no less dishonorable than the defections. So that is also not something that can be justified. There are two important words here. One is luring, which means tempt a person to do something, and another word, dubious, doubtful. The word dubious goes with distinction, dubious distinction of something. luring back the defectors by dubious means would have been no less dishonorable than the defections. Then the editorial talks about the present situation in terms of the number of seats vacant, in terms of the number of MLAs the parties have. The total strength of the MP Assembly is 230, in which 24 seats are now vacant. Although the BJP is within its rights to stake claim, there's another important word here, stake. Usually it goes with business. He has stakes in the business, means he has some rights in the business. In this context, stake claim usually takes the indefinite article stake a claim, to say that you have a right to something. Stake claim means what? To say that you have a right to something. Although the BJP is within its rights to stake claim in the interest of moral and political legitimacy, it could have waited until after by-elections are held to these seats and either of the parties establishes a clear majority. What the editorial says, though the BJP can claim power legally because it has gone by the books, it should have waited. It is not something that can be justified. In the interest of moral and political legitimacy, the BJP party should have waited, could have waited, until after by-elections are held to these seats, because 24 seats are vacant. Then what happens? Either of the parties establishes a clear majority. Then the right party can claim the power. But a disturbing new mechanism of usurping power that is not won to an election, perfected by the BJP in recent years, has no such restraint. Here the editorial criticizes the BJP party. There are two important words, usurping. Usurp means take a position illegally or by force. But a disturbing new mechanism of usurping power that is not won to an election, perfected by the BJP in recent years, has no such restraint. BJP does not restrain or refrain from doing that, usurping power that is not won to an election. So what is the meaning of the word restraint? An act of restraining. Restrain means to hold back. The party, then the editorial tries to justify. The party engineered the resignations of Congress and JDS MLAs and returned to power in Karnataka last year. The BJP took power on the claim of majority in a truncated legislature and had the advantage of being the ruling party when the by-elections were held. So it talks about what happened in Karnataka, and there's one important word here, truncated. It means shortened in duration or extent. When a particular party is in power, it has an advantage, obviously. The next sentence talks about that. It had used the same strategy earlier, and there are indications that it might be tried in some other states too in the coming weeks. So BJP has been doing the same thing. It did the same in the state of Karnataka. Now it has done in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And the editorial says it may do or it might do in the near future or in the coming weeks. What exactly does it mean? And what is the route taken by the BJP party? This route bypasses the anti-defection law, but the financial and moral corruption involved in this is only far too evident. This route obviously bypasses the anti-defection law. But what is obvious here, the editorial says, the financial and moral corruption involved in this route is only far too evident. Means what? It's quite obvious. While the top court did the right thing by asking for an early protest in Madhya Pradesh, the larger question the power tussle in the state has thrown up. Though the court has asked for an early protest, the editorial says there's a larger question thrown by the present situation. What is that? Which is the larger question the power tussle in the state has thrown up, which is the claim of majority in a legislature that has a considerably large number of seats vacant remains unresolved. Now, 24 seats are vacant. In this situation, claiming majority is something that cannot be resolved, is something that cannot be questioned. The recurrence of this model across states makes this an unhealthy pattern and a fresh challenge to clean politics. This is like a recurring thing, recurrence, there's one important word, happening again and again. The recurrence of this model across states makes this an unhealthy pattern and a fresh challenge to clean politics. Obviously, this comes in the way of clean politics. That's what the editorial talks about. The legal and moral implications of mass resignations of MLAs to append an electoral verdict need to be examined at the political and judicial levels. How does it end? The editorial ends on a note related to the legal and moral implications of mass resignations of MLAs to append an electoral verdict. Append means to set or turn something upside down. This need to be examined at the political and judicial levels. That's what the editorial talks about. That's it about today's editorial. Before we go to the language proficiency related exercises, today a new slide related to the importance of this particular editorial. When it comes to importance of a particular editorial or a particular article, you have to look at it from the exam point of view, prelims point of view, mains point of view. You may get it as a passage. As a passage, it could be a regular passage, it could be closed test, and you could get it as an essay in the descriptive paper. You may get it as a topic in group discussion. You may get it as a topic at the time of the interview. This particular topic or this particular editorial, it is related to anti-defection law, one thing. Another thing, it is related to the mass resignations of MLAs, and it is related to clean politics. Definitely, as a passage in prelims and mains, there's a possibility for this to come. As an essay in the descriptive paper, they may ask you to write about clean politics, they may ask you to write about anti-defection law, they may ask you to write about mass resignations of MLAs, engineered resignations. There's one important expression you got last week. The resignations have been engineered. So there's a possibility to get this as an essay in the descriptive paper. Group discussion, chances are less. This topic, chances are very bleak to get this as a topic at the time of group discussion. Interview also, chances are very less for this topic. They may not touch this topic because it is not related to the banking sector. It is not related to any particular sector. It is related to the Indian polity or Indian political system, rather not important. But as a passage, chances are more. When you get this as a passage, what does it mean? Already you have read the editorial, you have listened to me, you have listened to the analysis, and you're going to learn about 10 to 15 words or lexical terms that go with this particular editorial. That means tomorrow you get a passage related to any of these dimensions. Because you're going to learn the lexical terms, it will be easy for you to answer many questions related to meanings of words based on the context. That way it is very useful. And if at all they ask you to write an essay on anti-defection law, clean politics, and mass resignations, engineered resignations, you will be able to write an effective essay because you are going to already have got an idea about the context and the topic. Now let us see from this editorial, imagine getting this as a passage in the exam. What are the questions, likely questions? Before that, the first question you should always ask, what is this editorial about? Then you should have a clear answer, what is this editorial about? The second question, from the exam point of view, what can be inferred from the editorial, from the passage? What can be inferred? One, it talks about not clean politics, engineered resignations. It talks about what can be inferred, resignations being engineered and bypassing anti-defection law, and the moral and legal implications of the present situation. What is the tone of the passage, or what is the tone of the editorial? It is rather critical and analytical. It presents the information, the present, the past, and it questions the legality, the moral and legal implications, and it provides a solution. It has to be considered or analyzed at the political and judicial level. What are the implications of the stand taken by the BJP? Obviously, the editorial criticizes what BJP did in the state of Karnataka in the past, what it has done in the present situation, what it is likely to do in the future. Obviously, it is not something good. It doesn't go with clean politics, and it's not a good thing for the Indian polity. What are the loopholes in anti-defection law? Here, nothing has been mentioned directly about anti-defection law, but implied. Tomorrow, this may assume significance. In that case, you should have some basic information related to anti-defection law. That will help you in the long run. Can we expect clean politics in the near future? Based on all these, because of the trend, you may get in the descriptive paper one question. Can we expect clean politics in the near future? Write about clean politics in Indian context. Then you should be able to write an effective essay. That's all about today's editorial. Now let us work on language proficiency. I hope you guys are ready. and have a look at the 10 words, write the part of speech, then you write the meaning. Was there any problem? There's a problem with the volume. Please answer my question. Is any problem with the audio or the video? First you say yes or no. A few students say audio problem, but I don't know whether it is personal or all the students have the same problem. I would like to know. Please answer. I see one student says one verb, impending. That's right. Part of speech is a verb. And what is the meaning of that? 1D. That's absolutely right. Impending means what? Imminent, likely to happen, inevitable. You should recollect all these. I hope everything is perfect. Okay, that's good. Good. Thanks for your response. Now have a look at the second word and try to answer. Antithesis. Here you should focus on the prefix anti. That is very important from the exam point of view. Antithesis means what? Please go to the second word, antithesis. To see. What? First you have to write the part of speech. That is very important. Thesis, antithesis. It has to be a noun. Antithesis is what? Noun. That's right. And what is the answer? Someone says F. F is what? Opposite. That is absolutely right. Antithesis, opposite of a person or a thing. In this context, BJP is the antithesis of the Congress party. That is absolutely right. A lot of students have responded. So go to the third one, salvage. That's an important word. Try to do something. Try to salvage. Part of speech, always write the part of speech first. Then you go to the meaning. That's right. Salvage, it's a regular verb. Salvage, salvaged, salvaged. And the answer is J. That is absolutely right. That's very good. You have been doing well. A lot of students are there. The next one goes with everyday English. What is the word? Woo. Part of speech, obviously it has to be. Third one is over. You should go to the fourth one. What is the fourth one? Woo. Part of speech. Part of speech is a verb. And what is the meaning of that? Noun is not correct. It is a verb. And seek support. That's right. Answer is correct. But part of speech is a verb. Absolutely right. H is the answer. Go to the fifth one. Lure. L-U-R-E. That is the actual word. And here it is in ing form. So what is the meaning of luring? Or which part of speech is it? Fifth one, obviously it has to be a verb. It's a regular verb. And what is the meaning? To tempt someone to do something. Tempt someone to do something. So answer is I. Perfect. That's wonderful. Dubious, an important word. Woo goes with everyday English. Lure also goes with everyday English. But dubious, distinction. Dubious goes with effective English. Which part of speech is it? I have given the combination. So it should be easy for you to make out the part of speech. Dubious distinction. Distinction is a noun, dubious adjective. What is the meaning of that? Answer is G, doubtful. That is absolutely right. Go to the next one, usurping. That's an important word, usurp. Usurp is an important word. 7, verb, obviously. Take a position by force. In this context, it means the power. C is the right answer. 7, verb C. Amani says she has got it right. After that, a lot of students have got it right. Very good. Go to the 8th one, truncated. That's also an important word, truncated. Truncated, obviously you can make out ED. Truncate, here already E is there. It has taken the letter D. Any verb that takes D or ED is a regular verb. So it is a verb. Any verb that does not take D or ED is called an irregular verb. And what is the meaning? B is the answer, shortened. That is absolutely right. Tussle. Tussle goes with everyday English. It also goes with effective English. I had a tussle with someone. Tussle, part of speech. What is it? Yes, Sai Teja, 8, verb. B, go to the next one. Tussle. Tussle is a noun. I had a tussle. A tussle for power. Noun answer is E, struggle. That is absolutely right. A vigorous struggle. And what is the last one? Append. That is also an important word, but not a regular word. What are you left with? Append, it's a verb, appended. Turn upside down. Turn something upside down. Change the situation. No problem, Vinay. Better late than never. Always remember. There is a saying in English. What is it? Better late than never. Who has got all the 10 correct? They should be very happy. All the 10 correct parts of speech as well as meanings. Manasa says a 10, that's very good. Who else has got all the 10 correct? If you get all the 10 correct, you're really good at vocabulary. Lavanya says the same thing. 9 is also good. Nitish Chinna. Stake, one meaning is to say that you have the right to do something or to get something. One meaning. Another meaning, he has stakes in the business. Means he has the rights in the business. Political stakes, business stakes. These are the typical combinations. Please go to, 9 is also pretty good. And he also says 10 out of 10, that's wonderful. Please go to, Amani also says the same thing, that's wonderful. A lot of girls, what about the boys? Now, have a look at this, these sentences. All these go with errors. I have already answered stake, one meaning, stick, but it doesn't go with this context. Another meaning, to say that you have the right to do something or to get something. Another meaning, stakes in the business, means the rights in the business. Floor test, to prove your majority. It goes with assembly, it goes with parliament. A particular party has to prove the majority. Then we say floor test. In this context, BJP has to prove or Congress has to prove the floor test to prove a party's majority. 6 is also good enough at this stage. Be happy about that. Now, have a look at these sentences. Context, economy, science and technology, health. 3 contexts. And errors. Each sentence there is an error. What is wrong with the first sentence? 1, being hit. Migrant workers, street vendors, contract workers, almost everyone in the informal sector, the bulk of the workforce are being hit. Is being hit, that is right. What is the subject here? The bulk of the workforce. That is a phrase. Never consider a phrase. The bulk, it is considered a collective noun. We cannot say are, it should be is. Bulk of the workforce is being hit by this economic tsunami. See the combination. Tsunami goes with oceans, seas, tides, tidal waves. In this context, a new combination. What is it? Economic tsunami. Go to the second sentence. All train, metro, and interstate transport services across the country were suspended on Sunday till March 31st as the death toll from COVID-19 raised to 7 nationwide and the number of confirmed cases stood at 396. Where is the error? This is a bit difficult, not easy. Please mention the question number, then your answer. Only then I can make out whether you have got it right or wrong. Please mention the question number, otherwise I will not be able to answer or respond whether it is right or wrong. Not today, some other day. Lohit Rao, how to remember the words. Tomorrow I'll spend a few minutes. Do remember and do remind. I'll do it tomorrow. Have been suspended, not correct. Was not correct. Oh, surprising. That means this is an important one. But you have got many a time related to a particular word, and that word goes with the part of speech is a verb, and with confusing verbs. Very surprising. Not even one student has got it right. It is rather puzzling, perplexing, bewildering. No one has got it right. Here it is not raised. It is arose. Arise, rose, arisen, 2. 7 nationwide. Erased is not correct. No, there's no word like raised. Either it is erase, erased, erased, which is a transitive verb. Raise your hands. Raise the standards. Then it is a transitive verb. It takes an object. Erase, erased, erased. What is the other word? Arise. Arise, arose, arisen. Here the verb has been used in the past form. Arose to, the number, the death toll arose to 7 nationwide. First you have to learn the basics, Chandrasekhar, basics of English grammar. Everything should be at your fingertips. Then you have to practice a lot. Initially you have to practice topic-wise. Later you have to practice all the topics together. And you should also practice the previous year's questions. Then it will be easy for you to handle questions related to spot the errors. I'm really surprised not even one student has got it right. You have got this many a time. No problem, sometimes it does happen. Prasad says rose. That's good, I appreciate. Please go to the next sentence number 3. In a remarkable turnaround, China had 0 cases of novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 on March 18, 20, including in Wuhan, an epicenter of the epidemic. This is also rather difficult, not easy. Please don't answer or don't talk in terms of this one. This is a wrong approach, V1, V2, V3. I don't use those expressions. I don't want my students to use those expressions. If you take any verb has 5 forms. The basic form or infinitive, the present form, the past participle form, the present participle form. Remember those terms, and that is the right way. There will not be any ambiguity. Looks like we have a problem, buffering problem. Is everything all right? Audio and video, please say yes or no. The question is everything all right? Rose is the past form. Remember that way, Vinay. Looks like we have a buffering problem. No, it's all right. Everything is okay. Oh, that's good. Please answer question number 3. The epicenter. Very good. Who is this? Manasa says the epicenter. I appreciate that. Not easy. It is not an epicenter, the epicenter. There is an error. There is an error. What is it? An epicenter is not correct. The epicenter. Something specific. Something specific, only of one of its kind, the epicenter of the epidemic. Specific. Please go to the next one. This is also very difficult. If you get it right, that is highly appreciable. Please go to question number 4. Yes, Suma Yadav, that's right. The epicenter. As the novel coronavirus spreads, a double crisis loom over India, a health crisis and an economic crisis. Where is the error? This is rather easy. Should not be a problem. What is the answer for question number 4? Looms, that's right. Who is this? Naga Surendra, I appreciate that. It is not loom. Looms is the answer. I appreciate. Looming is not correct. Lavanya also says looms. That is absolutely right. Crisis, crisis, third person singular. Sentence is in present tense. Then we should add s or es to the verb. So it is not loom, looms over. Go to the last one. What is the answer? Question number 5. Where is the error? With the budget announcement providing direction, the stakeholders need to roll out the national mission quick. This is rather easy related to word forms. One reading, you should be able to spot the error. That is over the epicenter. After that, fourth one also I've given the answer. Now go to the fifth one. Quickly, that's right, Sai Teja. Quickly is correct. Lavanya also. It is not need to roll out how. We need an adverb, adverb of manner. It is not quick, it should be quickly. Quick is not correct, quickly. Question is about adverb. Have a look at close test. Some important words are there. Provide is not correct. Quickly is correct. The slide hasn't changed. I have a feeling, now it is better. You can have a look at the next slide. Close test, a short paragraph from one of the editorials. Important words are there, so I have brought it. Have a look, understand the context, use your grammar knowledge, take the elimination approach, and try to get the correct word. This economic crisis calls for urgent relief measures. Read the complete sentence with the blank and try to understand the context. Paul Das, that is the last one that is over. Please go to the next slide. Next exercise, close test. Effort, third one is effort for the first blank. No. Urgent, what is the second? 1, 3. No, that is not right. Almost all the students have said third option, it is not correct. And what is the right word over there? I haven't got the correct answer so far. 1, 5, that is not right. 1, 4, massive. Who is this? Nitishina has got it right, and Pandit also has got it right. Monica has got it right. And Madhya Radio also has got it right. So one is what? Urgent and massive. Urgent and massive. Looks like there is a problem. One four is correct. Urgent and urgent, massive relief measures. That is right. Go to the next one. Oh, D. Mahita, now you say good morning. Almost 40 minutes over. No problem. Better late than never. Go to the second one. This economic crisis calls for urgent, massive relief measures. Lockdowns may be needed to slow down the epidemic. That is right. Which word is that? The second blank takes the fifth word, epidemic. That is right. You could write the word or you could write the option number. That's wonderful. Second, it is epidemic. But poor people cannot to stay idle at home. Idle means no work. Cannot what? Third one is an important expression. Smart Purna says 3. What is the third one? That is absolutely right. They cannot afford to stay idle at home. They can't afford to do something because they cannot survive. Fourth one, if they're asked to stay home, they will need help. There is a critical difference in this respect between India and other countries. What are those countries? Fourth one. India is a developing country. India belongs to one of the third world countries, but the first world countries are rather rich. And what is the other word for rich, wealthy, prosperous? The answer is affluent. Answer is the first one. Affluent countries means wealthy countries. And what are you left with? Canada or Italy can take a lockdown in its stride. Which word is that? Second one, stride. In its way. Take something in your stride. Means what? Take in your way, take in your direction, take in the right spirit. Who has got all the 5 correct? The words and the context very important. Parajumble, and what is the context? That's wonderful. Affluent, important word, do remember. Wealthy, prosperous, rich countries. Yes, the last one is stride. To take something in your stride. Life, you come across ups and downs, and you should take in your stride whatever comes your way. Take positively. That's very good. Who is this? Pradeep Kumar Pandey. All the 5 correct. I appreciate. Now please go to the next exercise. We are running out of time. It is a parajumble. Context is health and economy. Good. Maunika, Naga Surendra, a lot of students. 4 is also pretty good. I appreciate. Please have a look at this parajumble quickly. The context is health and economy. Impact of coronavirus on the economy, on the people, on the business. That's right, Lavanya. Filthy rich, stinking rich, extremely rich, affluent societies. 1C. Already some students have responded. Parajumble. They say, Sidhu says 1C. Lakshmi Prasad, they say 1. Oh, Prasad says 1A. Lakshmi says 1C and Rajshekar 1C. What is 1? As the novel coronavirus spreads, a double crisis looms over India. Yes, that's right. One is what? C is one. As a novel means new. Coronavirus spreads. A double crisis looms over India. Second one should be easy, based on the word expression double crisis. What is the second one? That should not be a problem. 2E, that is rather surprising. 2B is correct. Double crisis, a health crisis and an economic crisis. That is rather easy. CB. 1C, 2B. As a novel coronavirus spreads, a double crisis looms over India, a health crisis and an economic crisis. What is the third one? Here you should look at how the information has been presented. Two problems. One, health crisis, and second, economic crisis. Then the third sentence should be related to health crisis. That's what you have to consider. So what is the third one? Where do you find health-related sentence? 3E is correct. In terms of casualties, the health crisis is still very confined, but the numbers are growing fast. Health crisis, the third sentence should be about health crisis. Fourth should be about, the remaining two sentences talk about economic crisis, the second problem. So what is the fourth one? You have to decide between A and D. Fourth one should be D. Meanwhile, the economic crisis is hitting with full force, throwing millions out of work by the day. And it concludes, how does it conclude? The difference between health crisis and economic crisis. And the fifth one, unlike the health crisis, it means what? Economic crisis. It is not class neutral, but hurts poor people the most. The last sentence is, A is the last sentence. It is not AD, it is DA. Who has got all the five correct? See, health crisis, third one. Economic crisis, fourth one. And the fifth one talks about the difference between the health crisis and economic crisis. So it has to be the last one. Who has got all the five correct? That is highly appreciable. What is a word map? There is an important word from the editorial, luring, lure. Lure goes with everyday English and it goes with effective English as well. And it's an important word. Tempting, easy word. Inveigling, rather unusual word, important word. Coaxing, you get this quite in the passages, an important word. Enticing, an important word. Decoying, important word. Decoying, important word. And beguiling, that is also an important word. From this you can learn about 6 important words. All these are important from the exam point of view. Nothing to worry, Pradeep Kumar Pandey. Practice more and read the sentences meticulously. Look for the clues. First you should ask the question, what is the first sentence? After that you understand what is the context. And based on the context, based on the link words, based on the framework, try to get the correct order. It will take some time, nothing to worry. There are 5 phrasal verbs. Have a look at these 5 phrasal verbs and try to get the correct meaning. All these go with family concept, or the theme is family. Follow out with, fall out with. On and off buffering problem today. A bit disturbing. 1D. What is one? Fall out with. That is absolutely right. Who is that? Somashekhar. I appreciate. 1D. Fall out with means what? Argue with somebody. He fell out with his brother. Means he argued with his brother. He had a tiff with his brother. Get along. A lot of students have answered the third one. What is the third one? Look after. E. Easy one. Take care of. Look after someone. Look after a child. Take care of a child. And what is the second one? Get along. 2A. That is also right. Be friendly. Do you get along with your brothers and sisters? A typical question that goes with everyday English. When someone says, I have a brother and a sister, we ask the question, do you get along with your brothers and sisters? Look up to. This is an important one. Look up to. 4C. Admire somebody. I look up to my grandfather. I look up to my father. I admire my father a lot. And take after. B. What is the meaning of that? Resembles someone. She takes after her mother. She resembles her mother. Now have a look at the idioms. Important. Some of these are important. Out of the blue means what? Have you got the next slide related to idioms? That's good. Out of the blue is what? One B, that's right, Srirama QT. Randomly, without warning, surprisingly. Out of the blue, from nowhere. One, it is B. 2E. Green with envy. Means what? Easy to make out. To be very jealous or envious. That is rather easy, should not be a problem. And gray area, that is an important one. Out of the blue is an important one. Gray area means what? Something that is unclear or undefined. Answer is the first one. Caught red-handed. This goes with everyday English. It also goes with effective English. Fourth one, 4D. To catch someone in the act of doing something. That is right. What is the last one? Green thumb. We also say green fingers. Green thumb, American English. Green fingers, British English. What is the meaning of that? C is the answer. As I said last week, I'm going to get one slide related to recall, revision, whatever you have already learned. Today, my philosophy, my approach, start with easy, start with interesting, start with simple, then slowly go to something complex, something difficult, something not that interesting. So idioms are rather easy and interesting. You have learned all these. Try to guess, remember, recollect, and try to guess. Hue and cry, what is the meaning of that? You have to recollect and write, then I will say whether it is right or wrong. It is not a match. Already have learnt all the 10 idioms. You have to recollect and write the meaning. Manasa says uproar, that is right. What are the other expressions? Noisy protest, clamor, noisy protest, hue and cry. Hobson's choice, no choice at all. Lavanya says one student has got this right. Hue and cry. Noisy protest, uproar, usually it goes with assembly, Parliament. There was a hue and cry in the Parliament. And hard and fast, someone has gone to the third one, that is also right. Hobson's choice means what? No choice at all. It has been given many a time in bank exams. Noisy protest, hue and cry, noisy protest. Hard and fast. Hard and fast means what? In the long run, someone has got it right. Who is that? Sirisha says, angry behavior. Ultimately, Sai Teja says, in the long run, finally, ultimately, at the end, that is right. In the teeth of, in the opposition of, that is right. Achilles' heel means weak point in one's personality. Lavanya has got it right. Achilles' heel, weak point in one's personality that may result in one's fall down, one's that is over. Fixed rules, yes. Hard and fast rules means what? Fixed rules, strict rules. Rajshekar has got it right, I appreciate. He has got the combination as well. Hard and fast goes with rules, policies, regulations. There are no hard and fast rules in the institute. It means what? No strict rules or fixed rules. Black leg in this context, very important. What is the meaning of that? To work when others are on strike. Lavanya has got it right. I appreciate that. Black leg, a person who works when others are on strike. That's an important one in the present context. And cut the Gordian knot. This is also very important. If you read the newspapers, you come across this quite often. Cut the Gordian knot means what? No one has answered, and someone has answered eye-opener, something which makes you understand a situation clearly. Absolutely right. Eye-opener makes a person understand the reality. Black leg, not a bad person. No, no. Bad person, black sheep. Here, black